Welcome back to F1 Report, everyone. We've had a frantic couple of weeks as the F1 season has kicked off in a big way, and that continues this weekend with the final race of our season opening triple header, the Hungarian Grand Prix. So at the Hungaroring, the event has been on the calendar since 1986 and is one of our European staples. Hungary is a happy hunting ground for Lewis Hamilton, who has the all-time win record at the circuit with 7 wins, including 3 of the last 4 races here. One of my favourites as well, as we always tend to see 1 or 2 special moves from our overtaking specialists. I think Daniel Ricciardo does a mind-blowing move around the outside of turn 2 into turn 3 every year at this point. Let's do a breakdown of the teams, see how they look coming into the weekend and what they might expect leaving it. We'll start with our constructors leaders, Mercedes, who have looked completely dominant so far, with only one blip coming in race 1 with a sensor issue on their gearbox. However, this was fixed for race 2 and we've not heard about it since, so I think we're safe to say that it won't have an impact in Hungary. The real fight appears to be between the teammates to see who can get the win. Bottas is currently in pole position in the title race, but like I said earlier, Hungary is one of Hamilton's happy places. Hopefully these two can give each other a good fight, even if the others can't catch them. Red Bull are definitely the closest of the chasing pack. They seem to have solved their reliability issues as well, so it's interesting for us to see how the two teams stack up. Verstappen appears to be able to qualify well against the Mercedes so far, but race pace seems generally slower than the Silver Arrows, so perhaps he'll be looking to try strategy to outfox them. Albon will need to bounce back after a disappointing last race. He qualified poorly, and while securing 4th, he was some way off his teammate, so he'll be looking to make that right this time out. Another team that will be looking for a bit of redemption will be Ferrari. They've qualified poorly in both races of the season so far, and last time out, their race was effectively ended on lap 1. They had new aero parts on the car that should theoretically have made it faster, but we never got to see them, so we'll get to see the difference they make this time out. The positive news was that Vettel had said the car felt much better last weekend than it had done previously, so perhaps we will see an improvement. One thing is for certain, a lot of media time will be dedicated towards Vettel and the rumours of his move to Aston Martin next season. The other side of those Vettel-Aston Martin rumours is of course the Racing Point team, who, for those not in the know, will be rebranding to Aston Martin next season. And of course, that leaves their drivers in their firing line as well, Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll. The Racing Point team also had a formal protest lodged against them and their 2020 car by Renault last week as well. They certainly have a lot of non-racing business to attend to going into Hungary. At least on the track, Racing Point looked like they could certainly be the 3rd fastest car in the field. However, they've not yet converted that into good qualifying or a good finish. The team will want that to change, and the drivers will certainly want to prove they are worth keeping next year as well. McLaren are the team consistently outscoring Racing Point at the moment, despite having what is understood to be a slower car. Last time out, Sainz delivered a great qualifying, and Norris a fantastic last few laps once again to get a good result. They'll want to continue that form going forwards, but they'll also be desperate to work on their pit stops, as it costs Sainz in Austria, and they're consistently toward the slower end even when they do go well. Renault are the other team hanging on to this upper midfield group right now. Daniel Ricciardo securing them a good result in the last race with a tyre strategy that very few used on the grid, in a hard-fought battle with Stroll. Ocon had to retire, but had qualified extremely well in the wet, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes now that he's starting to gain some confidence. I think Renault's goal for this race will be to be in and around that Racing Point McLaren battle again, and hopefully get 2 cars across the finish line, something they've not been able to do so far. Dropping back from those top teams, we have AlphaTauri, who have been very good at pinching 1 or 2 points here and there when they've been available, but they've not quite marked themselves out as the top dog of this secondary bracket just yet. Gasly did have a great qualifying in the wet last time out, but fell completely down the order in the race sadly, leaving only Kvyat fighting for 10th. I think they'll be looking for both cars to get good finishes this time out, maybe score double points. The Alfa Romeo and Haas teams seem to be very closely matched right now. both gunning for the AlphaTauri and the points they are securing. Both teams last time out impressed me, as I thought they'd slid down to the back of the grid based on early season pace, but they're both fighting their way forwards and it's great to see. That brings us to our final team on the grid, Williams. They had a fantastic qualifying in the wet with Russell, getting them into Q2 for the first time in ages. But that pace seemed to desert them in the race sadly, and it was once again a lonely race at the back for them. With the improvements they showed earlier in the season, they'll hope that the last race was just a blip and that they'll get back to closing in on the rest of the pack this time out. Overall, I think we'll be in for a more entertaining race this weekend. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing how the Red Bulls close the gap to Mercedes. I'm also looking forward to seeing what Ocon can do, as I don't think we've fully seen what he's capable of yet. And of course, I just want to see what the Ferraris with their new aero package can do. I marked them out as a team to watch last weekend, and I may have jinxed them, so I'm not going to say that this week. Who are you guys keeping your eyes out on this weekend? Anyone in particular you think I should look at? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.